Welcome to Van Lathan's The Red Pill, where we give you the brutal reality of truth. Today's episode, amazing. Amazing talk with Amber Rose. Interesting thing about Amber Rose to me is that a lot of people feel like they know who she is. Everyone has a different opinion of Amber Rose. Some say feminist, some say uh, sexual liberator. Some call her names that are not so flattering. You know, she has the slut walk and is trying to depower um, that entire word. But some people call her those words. Some people use the word slut or thought or trollop. I don't think anybody says trollop anymore. My grandmother used to say that. Shout out to my grandmother. The important question to Amber Rose and to anyone that's putting themselves out there is, how does she define herself? What is making Amber Rose do what she does? Her story, the entire thing. We're looking at somebody who was made a celebrity in this era of us not understanding why certain people are celebrities. She's very forthright about talking about the fact that she just kind of got famous, then had to learn while the plane was in the air how to fly the whole thing. So I loved this conversation. I love talking to people who aren't afraid to stand in their truth. I love talking to people who don't give a fuck about what you or I or anyone else thinks about them. I think we can learn from them. And also, we can challenge them. It's very important to challenge those people because sometimes they just like, I do what I want to do. But are you doing what you should be doing? It's a question we all should ask ourselves, and we should also ask the people who we look up to. Now, we're going to get to Amber in a second. But before we get to Amber, I got to talk to you guys, you people who love me, about something going on in my life that's getting increasingly harder. I wish that it wasn't getting harder, but it is. The Saints beat the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, and the NFC Championship game is in New Orleans this coming Sunday. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's an NFC Championship game, so they don't do any of those on Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. I'll look that up. But the NFC Championship game is Sunday, and I won't be watching. I didn't watch this past game either. You see the shirt. It says Baton Rouge versus everyone. I brought this shirt back out. If you watch TMZ a lot, you know that my wardrobe rotation is kind of thin. You see the same thing over and over again. But I'm in hell. I'm in hell right now with this whole NFL protest. I'm not doing it. I was hanging out with a friend of mine while the shout out to Damian Wayans. We met to talk some business in downtown LA this past weekend, and the game was just coming on. And Damian was like, "Don't you look at that? Don't you look at that screen? You can't look at that screen. What if somebody tapes this and then it goes viral?" It was just on in the bar. I wasn't watching it. And then I proceeded to not watch the rest of the game that the Saints won. The Saints win on Sunday, then they go to the Super Bowl. I can tell you one thing, I'm not going to be watching the Super Bowl. I'm not going to watch the NFC Championship game. I believe that the NFL is a racist organization. I don't want to support that racist organization, but it's tough. It's tough. You know, it's not easy. There's a lot of people out there going, "Yo, man, I haven't been watching no football. I miss football. Like I don't miss football at all. I'm just in my room on Sundays reading books by W.E.B. Du Bois, and Marcus Garvey, and watching old Malcolm X videos and stuff like that." I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble with it. The Saints are really good. This is a test from God. One reason why I'm having trouble is because, you know, we're boycotting the NFL, and I don't need everyone to be on the same page about why we're doing it. But I would like that. I would like for everyone to be on the same page about why we're doing it. That would be nice. I feel like I'm doing it for my own personal reasons. But it would be nice if there was like a boycotting the NFL sort of get-together situation. If I could be around other people, like a support group for people that ain't watching what they've been watching since they was 3 years old. Understand this. And people always ask why a boycott of this magnitude is hard. There's one reason why a boycott of this magnitude is hard. Is because a lot of times we separate the NFL football from kind of what we are. Where I'm from, NFL football is a part of what we are. Watching football on Sundays with like my dad and with a lot of people, it's part of it. It's like it's part of the fabric of like what America is, and we're not as much as we would like to be a part of that fabric. I knew who the Saints were before I knew who Martin Luther King was or Malcolm X was. I knew who the Saints were. My love of the Saints was taught to me around the same time I got a lot of other things like religion. So for me to have gone all of these years and then all of a sudden be hit with the realization that the NFL is unwilling to treat some of our brothers the way they should be treating them, it's hard, man. It's hard to make that decision not to watch something that you've always watched, you've always enjoyed, and then you watch your boys out there shining and you feel like you're not supporting them. The question is, should you be doing it? And should you ever do anything out of habit or even anything that makes you feel good if you know deep down it's going to at some point make you feel guilty or make you feel bad? What can you support? How should you support things? And where do you draw that line? Uh, I'm not so sure if me not watching the NFL is making any difference in anybody's life. It probably isn't. It's probably something that I'm doing for myself. It's almost a test for me at this point. It's a test about whether I can be committed to something that's hard to be committed to and something that I know is toxic for concepts bigger than me. And the concept I'm bigger than me is talking about people who understand when you start discussing your plight. Colin Kaepernick used a peaceful protest to shed light on something that we all agree that we need to be talking about, which is the treatment of marginalized and oppressed people in this country. And all he got from that, from the NFL, in my opinion, has been collusion, silencing, and unfair treatment. And I think that Eric Reed and his quote-unquote random drug tests are another example of that. So if I know that that's the way the league would choose to operate at its highest levels, it's just difficult for me to continue to support it. Now, if we're going around calling out things that are racist, it's probably things that are racist, entities that are racist. We know that there are all kinds of entities that are racist all over the place. And some people might say, Van, why aren't you boycotting those as much as you're boycotting the NFL? My answer to that is the NFL situation was thrown in my face and I had a reaction, and who I am right now is reflective of that reaction. But I'm not about to sit here and act like it's not hard. This is hard, man. This is a difficult thing to do. Like it's not like I don't even know if I'm doing it right, because like I'll still check the score. Like I'll check the score of the game to see how the Saints are doing. I'll look at when the game is over, not at the actual game itself, but at the score and see what happened and be up on all the storylines and stuff like that. So I'm still invested in a way into the NFL. I'm just not watching or financially attempting to not financially support it. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say good luck to the Saints this Sunday or even say a who dat. I don't know how this is supposed to be being done. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. If I'm supposed to feel indifferent about the game coming up against the LA Rams, a team that came in there when I cheated on the boycott and watched it earlier this year because I just couldn't do it. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. But what I do know is this type of strife that over something as trivial as enjoyment. Remember, it's not like I'm on a hunger strike. It's not like I'm losing weight. It's just something that I enjoy. And if we can't put things that we enjoy to the side for things that are necessary, we're going to have a hard time getting what we want here in America. And I think that protection and respect for people like Colin Kaepernick, who have put themselves out for us, I think that's necessary. I think watching a football game, even though it's something that you've been doing your entire life, I think that's just enjoyment. So sometimes all of this shit ain't easy. Cap, if you can hear this, I appreciate you taking that knee. I didn't know that you taking that knee when you did it was going to mean that I couldn't watch the Saints, but it does. So That's the funny little jokes that life play on you. We're gonna get to Amber now, but I have to do it. I have to say it to everybody out there. Who dat? For all of you guys that are enjoying the NFL, I don't feel any ill will towards you. I feel no type of way to all the players in the NFL that are talking, that are playing and doing their things. You guys go forth. I wish you health and happiness. Unfortunately, I just can't do it. All right, man, I'm depressed now. Let's get to Amber. Peace. You got a lot of ice on.
Not really.
Yes, you do.
Nah.
You got it on your wrists. You got it at the ring. And
Are
then
we
you
on?
got the,
Are we on?
Yeah, we're rolling right now.
Rolling. Okay.
Because every time somebody sits down,
Yeah.
because almost everyone that sat in that seat is richer than me, right? And so every time somebody sits down and they stun on me, I gotta call it out. So
Stop.
you like that's what you're
I need to
doing.
get my angle together.
Like-
Okay, hold on.
What do you?
Okay.
So yeah,
Just
so
kidding.
you gotta you wear a lot of you got a lot of ice on, man.
Not a lot.
I mean, because you're like in the hip hop world, you feel like you have to.
Who's in the hip hop world?
You're in the hip hop
No,
world.
I'm not. I don't do hip hop.
Hey, white people clap for Amber Rose. You don't
I'm
do
halfway.
hip hop, but you're part of the hip hop world.
You think so? That's cool.
You know you're part of the hip hop.
All right.
You are.
All right.
So you say you're half white,
My dad is white, yes.
and then your mom is
Cape Verdean, she's a black woman.
right. So you're black.
I am. And white.
You're black and white.
Yes.
Yeah, people want to know because I asked like people what questions did you have for Amber Rose, and one of the questions was, is she black?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself to be black?
Okay, so let me answer that in a proper way because I had this question before
Mhm.
and I didn't answer it in a way where people could understand.
Right.
So let's clarify this.
Let's do that.
Okay. I was on Rosenberg's show. Rosenberg's one of my good friends.
Yes,
This is years ago, though.
Right.
And he was like, so how do you feel about something like as a black woman? And I was like, well, I don't look at myself just as a black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I said that, which I should have clarified it back then, was, you know, I went to an all-black school
Mm-hmm.
in Philly.
Right.
I lived in an all-black neighborhood.
Right.
I was not treated like a black girl.
So you feel like your experience wasn't that of a black woman.
Right.
Right.
And I also feel like when I got into modeling and stuff, or even stripping at the time,
Mm-hmm.
I always found myself sticking up for the black girls
Mhm.
because it was like, you know, a black girl would come in and audition and, you know, I would be like, yo, she's fire.
Right.
Like, you need to hire her. I would like go to management or something. And they would be like, we already have 2 black girls,
Wow.
you know? And
Even
it was
in the stripping business.
always everywhere in the
Right.
modeling business as well.
Sure,
She's
I would-
too dark skinned. We have enough black girls. And I found myself throughout the years just being like, this is really, really fucked up. I don't have that experience
Mm.
as a brown skinned black woman.
Mhm.
So yes, I am black. My mother is black.
Mhm.
But I can't say I feel like this as a black woman.
Because that
I-
wasn't your
yeah, that's
Right.
all I'm saying. I never said that I wasn't black.
Right.
And so I get that a lot, and it's very frustrating because I embrace, you know, every piece of me. I love my mother and my father, and
Mhm.
you know, it's just who I am. It's how I was born.
Was there ever a part of you, was there a time where you felt in a way that your blackness wasn't more evident or that people didn't treat you as black or look at you as black? Did you ever want that?
No, because when I'm around white people, they treat me like I'm black.
Oh.
This is what I'm trying to say. I grew up very black in a black neighborhood, in a black school.
Right.
So me being as white-skinned as I am,
Mhm.
I
White-skinned.
I didn't
We got like Amber Rose is white-skinned. By the way, that's the name of the podcast. White-skinned. Anyway.
Yeah, so like so I grew up in Philly, which is integrated and segregated at the same time. So it's like from block to block, you can be in very different cultural neighborhoods.
Sure. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right. So like it can be all Italians on one block and you cross the street and it's all black, and you cross the street and it's all Irish, and everybody they just stay in their own neighborhood, right? Because it's kind of racist out there a little bit. Or when I was younger, in the 90s and shit. But I found myself like, I would go to like the black bars, right? And do like karaoke and go get like mussels and shit. And like my friends would go and stuff. Or I would go with like my aunties and shit. And, a white person or a white man will come in and they'll be like, come on, white boy, come have a drink, come and eat some mussels. Let's do some karaoke. I didn't have those same experiences in white Irish bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
they treated you like you were black there.
Right.
They knew that you weren't one of them.
Yeah. But in a black bar, I didn't feel different.
Sure, I get it.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, as far as what I've experienced, even through other people, I would, the Irish bars weren't as accepting.
Right.
As the black bars were always very accepting of everyone.
Black people, they're like that.
Yeah.
They're very accepting.
Very accepting. Come in, come and eat.
Matter of fact, sometimes like black people like it when non-black people do black things. Like if you're like meaning like if you say that like I remember being in a group of people like 2004, huddled around a television set, people were amazed at Justin Timberlake. They're like, oh my God, look at the way he sings and dances. And I'm thinking, Usher do that same shit. Why is it so much more oppressive? Or like if you watching an NBA game and a white boy really got hops, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Look at a white boy. I'm like, Vince Carter could jump. What the fuck? But I get that. Now, was there ever any side of it that you leaned into? Like, did you culturally, you seem to lean into, because you mad hood and shit. So
I'm hood because I grew up hood. I'm a hood Philly bitch.
That's how you
I've been
describe
in
it.
Hollywood for a long time, so
It's not rubbing off. Hollywood's not rubbing off on you. You don't think so?
Not rubbing off in a negative way. I'm just, I'm not gonna fight somebody in the street because they looked at me wrong.
Right.
I was that girl in Philly because it
Word.
just culturally, that's just how we're raised. Like, for example, like if I have a problem with a girl in school or she has a problem with me, I would let my mother know. And my mother would take me to her house and tell her mother to come outside, and we would have a fair one.
That's so fucking
and that's just
terrible.
It's just how it was. Like culturally growing up, it's just how it was.
Yeah, actually that happened to me one time. Shout out to my homie Frank, who we became friends later. Like, it's not that I was scared of Frank. Let me just, all right, let me put this out here. It's not that I was scared of Frank.
Okay.
I was busy playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was on Mario Brothers. I was having a good time. Frank was outside popping shit.
Okay.
Everybody was outside like, yo, Frank is out here popping shit. Van, you gonna come outside or whatever. I'm like, I'm busy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You were scared a little bit.
I wasn't scared, but, I was doing better shit at that time.
Okay.
My dad gets home and my dad and my mom. My dad goes, I don't know if you know, but it's a little nigga outside of my house telling me to tell you to come outside. And
oh, wow.
He was like, pause the game. I go outside. You know what happened? Frank, I know you listen to this somewhere. I washed the shit out of Frank.
Nice.
I fucked Frank up. Frank was really crazy. Frank was like half my size. And I was very upset. So I've seen that before, but you're a mother now. What do you think of that style of child rearing where you force your kid into conflict like that? Because my parents did it to me. They did it to my brothers. They did it to us.
I'll say this. Where I was raised, I had no other choice. I couldn't go to school the next day. I wouldn't have no respect,
right.
And even if I would have lost, I still would have had my respect. It's just culturally how we were raised in Philly. My son goes to a very prestigious private school in LA. So, I don't think he's going to experience those things. Maybe amongst his friends outside of school, he might want, have a little scruffle or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I still have that hood in me where I'm like, you don't let nobody fucking hit you. You hit them back.
Yeah.
I still have that. And, my son's nanny, she's like, I don't want to overstep, but I don't think that's kind of, and I'm like, somebody fucking hit you, you hit them back. You don't let nobody hit you like that. You don't let nobody take advantage of you, or, and
that's an important life lesson, though. I think that
sometimes
sometimes people think that that's about violence. That's about setting limits for yourself.
Right.
If someone does physical violence to you or does something like that to you, you return it to let people know you're not that motherfucker to fuck with.
Right.
Because people will continue to test you.
Right.
And if you always look to somebody else to fight your battles for you, you end up with a lot of.
Well, and I tell Sebastian, I'm like, you don't start trouble. You don't put your hands on nobody, but you defend yourself if somebody tries to hurt you. I have very extensive conversations with my son about his private areas, and you don't let anyone touch your private areas.
Wow.
I don't care if they say they know you. Everybody knows you. You're famous. You're all over Instagram. Just because somebody knows your name doesn't mean that they know you. Mommy and daddy, Dee Dee, your family knows you.
Right.
Because we're out at the mall and they're like, Sebastian. And he's like, Mom, how do they know my name?
Everybody knows you, little man.
You know what I'm
famous.
saying? So I let him know, just because they know your name, they don't know you. But, my son is never really in a situation where he's not with me or his father or, except for school and,
Raising famous kids.
Yeah.
What is that like? We talk a lot about Amber. We talk a lot about Wiz. We talk a lot about Amber and Wiz. But what we don't talk about is the fact that Sebastian, on his own right, like you said, is famous.
Yeah.
And a lot of these kids that we're seeing, all the Kardashian kids, Blue, whoever else is out there these kids are famous.
Right.
What is it? You're famous and you're obviously an adult. You can kind of deal with the fame. What is it like to have your son? Like, what extra steps beyond what you just said? What's that like? Like, people sometimes they want to talk to him.
They want to talk to him. They want a picture with him. And I have to remind people, like, I know you're excited to see him, but he's a baby. And I'm his mother. And you don't need to be coming and talk to my child without talking to me. They just get excited. And, and I'll tell you, I've had tweets and I've had comments like, Amber's a bitch. I seen her in the mall, or I seen her at the ice cream shop and she was really mean to me. But I'm a mother bear. You can't come and ask my baby for a picture. I'm not asking your baby for a picture.
Yeah, they baby not famous though.
But I get it. But then it's like, here, take my baby and take a picture. And then it's like, I'm putting my baby in jeopardy for somebody putting their arm around him. They could poke him with something. There's weird, crazy people out there.
Sure, without a doubt.
And so I just don't want my son. There's times where he'll stand in front of me while I'm taking a picture with a fan. I'll do that.
Right.
Because he enjoys taking pictures. But yeah, it's difficult sometimes. But the school that he goes to, he goes to school with Halle Berry's kids, Sandra Bullock's kids.
Will the fucking flexing never stop? Like, Jesus Christ. Like,
Charlize Theron's kids.
Wow. So yeah. So
Michael Jackson's kids went there as well.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we really just talking our shit on the podcast today.
But you got to be really smart to get into that school, and I'm proud of my son,
Like, going to a school like that, like, he is a black man.
Yeah.
Going to a school like that, do you ever have concerns about him being in touch culturally with what's going on with black kids? Because I can imagine that there are a lot of black kids that go to that school.
There's not.
Right. So
There's not.
Like, how do you sort of get him ready, not to implant negative things in his brain, but how do you get him ready for what this society is going to be like with him being having that brown skin?
I think that so in his class there's 3 black kids in his kindergarten class.
Barack Obama's kids, Sidney Poitier's kids, probably.
No, he's actually best friends with Sandra Bullock's daughter, which is in his class. Lila, she's a good girl, and they have play dates and stuff. So he's around other black children. But listen, this is the thing. One of his friends came up to him, and he came home and told me. He said, and I want to say the kid's name, but
yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. But he was like, "Why is your hair so fluffy?"
God damn, that pisses me off, man. I know that the kid didn't mean any harm, but
this is
worry
the
about
thing,
your
though.
own fucking hair.
This is the thing.
Nigga.
This is the thing. At 5 years old, that's when you ask those questions.
Yeah, you're right.
when you're
I'm just
a
triggered.
30-year-old, white person that has their own show and you're saying that blackface is okay, that's because you didn't grow up in a diverse school or community, that you just don't know any better.
Right.
At 5 years old, I'm like, yes, ask those questions.
Sure.
Don't ask those
You're
questions
right.
when you're 25 years old. I'm not trying to hear that shit.
Right.
And I just told him that his hair was beautiful and everyone comes from different backgrounds and different parts of the earth, and that's what makes all of our hair textures different. And but yeah, it's starting.
Right.
So
they're starting to wonder why Bash is a little bit different.
It started. Well, at Bash's, when I was Bash's age, I asked my mother why she was black and I was white.
Damn.
So, yeah.
What did she say? She just went into it. She just kind of broke it down.
Yeah.
I know what my mama would have said.
What?
Don't fucking worry about that.
No.
Don't you don't ask me questions like this.
Well, a lot of the kids, as I got older, my mother would pick me up from school, and they would tell me that I was adopted. They would be like, "You're adopted. Your mom's black and you're white. You don't look shit like your mom. I don't get it." And my mom has the big C-section scar, the old school Johns that goes straight down the middle.
Telling you, real woman.
Right. She's like, you're my baby. Like, so.
Let me ask you a question. You sit here, Amber Rose, you're famous, you're rich, you have all of this stuff. When you were, say, 16, did you see yourself being where you are?
Yes.
You did.
100%.
How did you see yourself getting there?
You know what? When The Secret came out, I was like, been living that my whole life. And not even knowing, because, so like a lot of my friends that I grew up in Philly with, they, my girlfriends would be like, oh my God, I love him. I want to have a baby with him. 15, 16, 17. I'd be like, girl, I ain't having no kids. Y'all not keeping me here. I'm going to live in Hollywood.
Right.
And, honestly, at that time, it was not realistic. And I was like, I'm living in Hollywood and it's going to be lit for me. And like, I don't know. I just felt it. And the crazy thing is that how I became famous when I did, I think I just spoke it into existence, because when it started happening for me, I was pulling back because I was like, I'm not famous. Like, I'm just like his girlfriend. I don't want to take pictures. Like, I'm not the famous one he is,
And you feel like that's how you became famous? Because I remember I saw you in a video. It was like because you stood out in the video, because ain't nobody had a hair like that. It was like a Ludacris video.
I know what them girls like, yeah.
Yeah. And then it seemed like right after that, here you come with this big celebrity relationship.
Well, I think that I know that Kanye's seen me in that video and then reached out to me from that video on my little Nokia phone. I was living in the projects in the Bronx.
You were like,
and
wow.
He was like, I want to fly you out to do my RoboCop video for 808s and Heartbreaks. And I was like, oh my God, this is Kanye. Like, yeah, of course. And just thinking like, I'm a professional model. I'm going out there to do a professional job with like, the most famous artist in the world. This is huge for me. And I look like a robot. This is perfect.
Right.
And long story short, I went out there and we fell in love, and we were just
together. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
and then it was like boom.
I never went back home after that.
It was like, yeah, you were everywhere. What was that like? Like the rush of fame? Because think about it. When you say the most famous artist in the world, the most famous artist in the world.
Yes, especially at that time.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah. It was not good for me, Van. I'll be honest with you. It was. The only way I can put it for maybe people to understand is like having everything and then the next day having nothing. That's what it felt like. It was just the opposite. I was not used to that lifestyle. I was not used to all the expensive things that I was wearing.
You wasn't used to sparkling water yet.
I was not used to water. I was used to Tahitian treats and like, Kool-Aid and shit. Like I was not used to none of that shit.
Yeah.
And it was like I was very admired in Philly. I had a lot of friends. I was always bubbly and fun and cool, and everybody just loved Amber. And then I became famous, and it was like, you fucking stripper, disgusting, fucking, you don't deserve him, and it was like,
From back home, people were saying this.
just on the internet.
On the internet, period, yeah.
Everywhere. And then, you know, I would come back home and I would listen to Power 99, and like they would just have like a fucking 2-hour segment just talking shit about me. Like people that never met me, don't know me. So it was like I had this amazing life, poor but amazing. And then all of a sudden I was famous and my life was no longer amazing. I didn't know who my real friends were. I didn't understand the concept of fame. I didn't understand paparazzi. I was like, why are you following me? I'm nobody. I'm fucking from Philly. Like, yeah, we're dating. So what? It's weird. Like, I just didn't get it. Right. And the crazy thing is, I wanted Hollywood my whole life.
And when you got it, it wasn't what you wanted.
I didn't know that I didn't know I was gonna achieve it that way, because I didn't go into it wanting that. I went into it like, wow, this guy's amazing. I want to be with him. But I didn't think that just because I was his girlfriend, I was gonna gain fame from that.
You really didn't think that?
I swear on my...
You really didn't think that? Name me one guy that's
swear,
that famous that has a girlfriend and then she's not famous.
I swear on my son's life. On my son's life.
There was no part of you that thought, oh, shit.
No, I swear.
We out of Philly now.
Nope. Not one part. No.
Fresh Princess of Beverly Hills?
Because if anything, I used to ask him to go back home.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I used to be like, I want to go back home. Like, I don't, you know, I appreciate you taking me to Rome to like...
This motherfucker here. Like, this motherfucker here, man.
You know, but I was just a hood bitch my whole life. So I was like, and it's funny, I can laugh at it now. It's like 10 years later, who cares? But, you know, I was like, you know, I appreciate you taking me to Rome, and I saw the Vatican, but like, can we just have a barbecue in the backyard and like, can we just listen to loud
You know what's
music?
crazy is that now when you say this, I can think of so many rhymes that are about you that where he would...
All right. Let's just move on. Great.
Well, because I didn't know who he was talking about. Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't.
But yeah, so all of that stuff, it hit you. It came pretty fast.
Yeah, it was a really. I think from the outside looking in, it probably looked very glamorous, and you know,
it was exhausting for you though.
It was very exhausting, and then all of a sudden, it was like, you know, I had a stylist and I had somebody assisting me and it was just like, I just can I just go to the supermarket and get some Fruity Pebbles by myself?
But you can't anymore.
I can't. And now I really can't.
Now you really can't.
Yeah, I just kind of wish he did, you know, he would have warned me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I think that when people, the more famous someone is, the more normalized that lifestyle is to them, so they don't really think there's anything to warn you about. Right,
yeah, that could be true.
Like they get like, I know people, you know, some of my homeboys that like are, you know, pretty famous, and they'll be like, yo, we're going to the Laker game tonight. And I'll be like, all right, cool. But where am I gonna meet you? No. Somebody's gonna call you with the instructions. I'm like, call me with the instructions to go to the Laker game? Yeah.
Right.
Chill. Couple of minutes. Hey, Van, how's it going? So we're gonna have a car service pick you up. You're gonna meet us at this entrance. Go up to the top on the gold room floor. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? When I want to go to the Laker game with my brother, I Uber there. We meet by Magic Johnson's statue. We go into the fucking game, and then we get it. But all of this stuff is like it's totally different. But to them, that's normal.
Yeah, and you could be very right about that. That he couldn't warn me because he thought he was doing me a favor, and the beginning was very hard. Yeah.
Did you make a conscious decision to stay famous? Meaning, because that goes away, right? It ends, everybody sees it, blah, 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 blah.
No, I think you're famous forever once you're famous. It's just the level of fame that you have, right? So there was
never a time where you went, okay, I
said no matter what, I ain't going back to Philly.
Because a lot of people ask that question because a lot of people say Amber Rose is always in a relationship with a famous guy.
Yeah, but that's by default because I don't trust people in my home that have nothing to lose. I don't trust people around my family that have nothing to lose. So, yes, the guy that works at Starbucks is probably amazing, but will he steal from me? I don't know. He doesn't really have much to lose. I feel like I've had people that worked for me that had nothing to lose that stole from me. So for me to actually bring someone in my life and date them, it's just they need to bring something to the table where I feel secure enough that they're not gonna use me for any other reason.
All right. You know what's crazy is when you say that, there's a lot of guys who are going to listen to that and feel like that's triggering. Not only do I not see anything wrong with that, I don't understand why everyone doesn't feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. To me, like sometimes we'll talk about dudes who'll be out here and they'll meet a girl via DM or something like that, and then something goes crazy, and I'll be like, and this is not to diss women or to diss women. I'd be like, but dog, what did you expect? Because if you're here, I don't know how valuable these guys think that their dicks are.
Right.
But I'm just
Right.
I'm just saying, like, if the lady is going through all of that, she doesn't just want to. She probably wants to see what else is gonna come from this situation. So if she does turn around and
Possibly, and guess what? You can be with a famous girl and she could be batshit crazy. You take a gamble, but it's more so like to date someone that understands your life is a lot easier. You kind of move in a certain way. You go through the back door instead of the front door. It's certain things that, like, a certain lifestyle that we're both accustomed to as well.
Right. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you feel any way indebted to Kanye?
No, because when I left Kanye, I didn't have any money. So I don't know.
So no.
No, I've made millions on my own, and the thing of it is that fame is one thing. What you do with the fame and how you make money, and when you become an entrepreneur, that's all on you.
Did you have that conversation with yourself? Like, what am I going to do now?
Well, yeah, because it was like a thing. Like, everybody was just saying, like, you're famous for no reason. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
Right.
Like, blame the consumer.
Right.
Don't fucking blame me. I don't know what the fuck to do now. I got to figure out how to make money. And, like,
did you ever think about, like, rapping?
Yeah, I thought about rapping. I thought about a lot of things. I mean, shit.
What'd you think about?
My life ain't over.
I mean, are you still gonna rap?
I don't know yet. I don't know what I want to do.
Wow.
I don't know, Van. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say that, like, I'm a open person, and I grew up in Philly. I grew up in a very soulful musical city. I love music. Probably why I date a lot of artists.
And your current boyfriend, who's here but not inside of here, he is also like he's a music producer, isn't he?
He's a VP of A&R at Def Jam.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good connect to have right there.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. So you're thinking about doing some rap, huh?
I don't know what I'm thinking right now.
Let me tell you something. If you start rapping, that shit is whack.
You want to be in my video?
I'll be in the video. But, like, let's say you start rapping and it's at first.
Come on, son. I'm never going to rap and be whack.
But
I'm
you
never
could be
gonna
whack.
No,
Amber.
I'm not.
Amber.
There's no way.
Motherfuckers get whacked sometimes.
No, listen, because I'll go in with I don't have no ego. I'm not going to go in and be like, I write all my shit and I can freestyle. Like, I would never do that. I would make dope music that makes me happy.
Are you sure that it would be dope? Because if it's whack.
I'm positive.
I need you to do me a favor right now.
We're hypothetically speaking.
If you make rap music, which
Oh
it seems
my God.
like you're going to do.
Well, how did you get that from me?
And it's whack. I need you to give me permission to be like, yo, Amber Rose is my homegirl, but that shit was whack. Because I'll tell you why. Because people get mad when you do that. I know mad niggas who rap. You guys know who you are. Y'all put out these songs, and then they be like, yo, Van, support this shit. I can't put that shit on my page, dog. Like, I'm sorry. Like, not everything. So if it's whack,
then you could say whatever you want.
I could say it's whack, and we'll still be cool.
Yeah.
We'll still take the crown shots and like we'll
all
still
that, all that.
we'll still
You're
be
still
cool.
invited to the pool parties.
All of that shit. But if it's whack, but you don't think you could come whack? You don't think it's
If I did music, no.
you wouldn't?
No, because I would get like the best writers. I would basically tell them exactly what I want to talk about and to ask them to execute my vision exactly how I want it to be.
If you did start rapping, wait. If you did start rapping,
Yeah.
which one of your exes would you want to collaborate with first? Who would you get on the song?
None.
No, you wouldn't do a track with none of them.
Nope.
Wait, this is some fire shit here. We got the best of the best, and you wouldn't do a song with any of these guys?
Nope. Because my shit's going to be so fire.
That you don't want, like, you don't want
Nope. I don't want no help from nobody.
no Ye, no 21, no Wiz. These are the best guys.
Nope.
Your feminism
Yeah.
is a fucking hot topic, man.
Is it?
It so is a hot topic.
Oh, how?
It's a hot topic because the brand of feminism that you have,
Yeah.
not a lot of people. First of all, you have a lot of people who are very supportive of you and understand exactly what you're doing.
Thank you for that.
But a lot of people.
Yeah.
If you guys ever know the Amber Rose SlutWalk, first of all, I have a bone to pick with you about the SlutWalk. I think we've talked about this before.
I don't know.
I think I brought this up to you before. Let me tell you my problem with the SlutWalk. So
Okay.
I live downtown.
Yeah.
It's a place downtown called Downtown Donuts. Okay? This
You
is
did tell
true.
me
This is a
this.
true story. Face downtown. I don't know why all the sluts at the SlutWalk love donuts so much, but every year, every Saturday, I go and I get some donuts from Downtown Donuts.
SlutWalk is on a Saturday.
It's on a Saturday morning, and every year, you hungry motherfuckers eat up all the donuts, so I don't have any donuts.
Yes, we do.
Like
We do.
every
I'm
single
sorry
year,
about that,
every
man.
single year I get up and it's like, this order is not available. This order is not available. Downtown Donuts closed. Y'all closed the fucking shop.
I
down.
apologize, man. It's not about you that day. It's about all the girls. So whatever.
You know what I'm
Get
gonna
over
do? Cool.
Get
next
over it.
next year, I'm gonna go buy up all the donuts from y'all. See how you
it.
fucking
That's
feel.
so not cool.
Oh, I'm gonna buy them up, man, because I need my shit. Anyway, so, hey, y'all SlutWalk people, stop eating up all the donuts from a nigga. I eat donuts on one day a week. So listen, your brand of feminism, or your brand of, not even feminism, but sexual empowerment, where you embrace words like slut
Yeah.
and hoe
Yeah.
and all of that stuff like that. I don't have very much use for those words, meaning they don't trigger me. You're a woman, so
They don't trigger you, or you don't use them.
I probably use them, but what I mean is if I use them, it's in the context of, like, I don't ever say, oh, somebody's a hoe, because like that was
You
like,
a goddamn lie.
that was high school. Like, I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
like
So
that-
high
yeah,
school.
yeah,
Okay.
I have before,
Yeah.
sure, but now it's like, come on, man. Like that's kind of not even the way I think.
Yeah.
But embracing those terms turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Like, I ask people, yo, what do y'all want me to ask Amber Rose? And I'm gonna ask the wildest questions that they ask me later on.
I'm so excited.
But the question is, how do you look at those terms? Do you think that using those terms to describe women is responsible because of the negative connotation that they have? What would you
Well,
say
I
to
think
people
it's
that say,
irresponsible to have the words still in the Webster Dictionary. I think it's irresponsible to allow people to call you those words in a derogatory way. And, you know, I don't force women to embrace those words. I say, look, this is for me, and that can be for you. Just like, you know, I want to wear what I want. If you want to dress conservative, I'm not telling you to come to the SlutWalk and, you know, be in fishnets and thongs. You can wear whatever you want. But I feel like when I was being called all of those derogatory labels, by me embracing those words helped me get through a very dark time in my life.
So it's very personal for you.
Yeah, and it worked for me. And I feel like if it worked for me, it could work for a lot of other women. And it's not for everyone, which is okay.
Does the word slut have a definition?
In the dictionary, it does.
No, I mean to you. Because, like, you use the word, is there a definition of the word to
well,
you?
slut is just a derogatory label that men and women use against other women to down them for their sexuality, or down them for being confident in their sexuality, or making conscious decisions to do what they want in their life, or not doing it. Because the thing of it is, you could be called a slut and not do anything at all. It's just the perception of you. So slut really is not really like an actual definition, because you can kind of just throw that on anyone. You know what I mean? Without knowing their personal or sexual background at all.
So when you embody the word, then what do you feel like when you embody the word? When you accept the word and you use the word and you brand the word, what do you feel like you're accepting and using and branding?
I'm taking the power out of it.
Okay.
I'm taking the pain away from it. And like I said, that works for me. That doesn't necessarily work for other women. They feel like we should just banish all the derogatory labels. And like, yes, in a perfect world, that would be great, but it's not realistic for me. I don't think that rappers are going to stop calling girls hoes and sluts.
It would be good, though.
It would be amazing.
It would not only would it be good, it's something that eventually, Amber, has to happen.
Listen, man, yes. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's kind of like...
It's going to be hard to make safe spaces for our women if we keep doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, it's like you either take the pain away from it personally or you allow it to hurt you. And I'm not going to allow those derogatory labels to hurt me. So, you know, if I post a picture on Instagram and I'm like, I love my slutty ass in this Fashion Nova t-shirt.
Discount code Amber.
Yeah, like, you know, that takes the pain away when, you know, every comment is like, you're a fucking slut, you're a mother, you're a fucking scumbag, you fucked 85 guys this year. You know, it's like, I already call myself a slut. You can't hurt me.
Can't hurt me, yeah.
You know? So, yeah, and I give other women that confidence as well to take the pain away.
I don't understand why people cling to convention so much. I don't get why people are so offended with someone else's decisions about their body and about how they look. Why do you think that is?
I think they're just uncomfortable with themselves. I think it could be the background that they grew up in. They weren't taught to be open or confident in their sexuality or in themselves. You know, it depends. I feel like there's a lot of guys, especially guys, that I see are very controlling. They don't like a woman to be overly confident because they feel like they can't control her, and that makes them feel they have to then down her with derogatory labels to make her feel beneath them so they feel inferior. I see that a lot. I see a lot of girls that are internally insecure, and so they project that negativity onto women that they kind of wish they could, you know, be like. And it's all just within. And so like when I talk to girls, I'm like, you know, I don't want to ever just say like, hey, be happy with who you are.
Right.
I hear that a lot, and I'm like, you know what? If you want to make changes, make changes. If you want to, I mean, you show your before and after pictures of your body all the time.
Sure.
And those were decisions that you made because you wanted to get to where you are now.
Right.
And if I sat there and was just like, no, just be who you are, just stay that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that maybe didn't make you happy at the time.
It didn't. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we just need to just focus on like being positive and, yeah, go ahead.
What does being sexually healthy look like to you?
Doing what you want, and that's not even actually having sex. Being sexually healthy is if you're asexual and you don't want to have sex at all. It's just whatever makes you happy. I feel like it's funny. People think that I sit around and like have orgies all day and like just do all this crazy shit. It's like I'm 35 years old. I had one threesome in my entire life, and honestly, I did it in my entire life.
The whole time? That's boring as fuck.
I'm kind of a traditional girl.
Wow.
You know?
I wouldn't say that's boring. I'm just saying that that's surprising.
It is surprising, you know, and I really did it more so for research.
Female, male, or male,
I did
male,
it for
female?
research purposes.
Which way was the threesome? Was it female, male,
It
or
doesn't
male,
matter,
female?
man. The bottom line is that
Why don't you answer the question?
I chose to do something.
Female, male, male, female. Which one was it?
I chose to do something.
Jesus Christ.
That
I know what it was now. Now I know what it was.
You don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, you're blushing now. So then, because what some people will say is that, what some people say is that encouraging, using words like slut or hoe like that, it might make young women run out and think that a way to be cool, and I'm not saying this, I'm just saying this is a criticism, a way to be cool, a way to be empowered is to experiment with as much sex as possible, which there's not necessarily anything wrong with that at all, but also for some people, you just want to make sure that people are making decisions for themselves and not because they think that this is something they have to aspire to.
Well, if you ever went to my website or you came to the SlutWalk or, you would know that we, have HIV and AIDS testing. I'm an advocate for safe sex. I do believe in condoms. And I also believe in making choices that are comfortable for you. I talk about rape culture. I talk about consent. I talk about regardless of, how many times you said yes, once you say no, he has to stop. I've spoke at colleges. I've did centers, schools. My SlutWalk is over 20,000 people.
Wow, that's really impressive.
So I have these conversations. I just did Girl Cult for Galore magazine, and I got on stage and just talked to all the girls there. It's really what makes you comfortable. I also talk about the derogatory labels now. With social media, it is extremely prevalent, and it's a extreme form of bullying as well. What they do to these girls, it's like, I'm confident in my body, I worked out, or like, you want to post a pretty picture. You're a slut, you're a hoe, no one's ever going to wife you, you're this, that, and that. I mean, these girls want to go and kill themselves after that. They felt beautiful. They felt like they wanted to post that, and then they have to get hit with all this shit. It's just unfair.
Is there anything unhealthy about that part of social media to you? People posting pretty pictures of themselves, and can it ever be too much?
No.
You don't think so?
No, it's your own page. Post what you want.
I'm with it. I'm just asking because a lot of people think, a lot of people think that we can kind of get caught up in aesthetic too much, and maybe we're not diving into the depth
think
of one
everyone
another.
needs to mind their fucking business and let people post what they want.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Post what the fuck you want. Post you in a bikini, you in a jumpsuit, you in a tracksuit, whatever you're into, post that shit. And if people don't like it, don't follow me, don't leave a comment. And if you do, I might comment back, or I might just block your ass.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's only one thing annoying about it. This is the annoying thing, and I think this has to do with the way people feel. For me, when posting your butt, you can just post your butt.
yeah.
Sometimes people post their butt and they go, for years and years and years, I was afraid of my butt. I didn't know that everyone hated my butt and felt terrible about the way it looked in the sunlight. But now I am so free to post this ass on Instagram for all of you guys to see, and I'm going to post it and love myself. I don't need that. Post your ass and go. Like it's like the reality.
I think a lot of girls probably have those long captions for like,
because they want to insulate themselves from the hate. I invite the hate.
Yeah, I posted
Fuck
my
it.
ass yesterday and I put peach fuzz.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. When you did make the decision, because I've never posted my ass before. I might post my ass this summer. I'm a squat all year. I might post my ass.
You should, Van.
When
Do
you
it
make,
for the culture.
when you made the decision to do that, like, is there what posting? Because I'm gonna ask. We got a whole section that's gonna be about posting sexy videos. Cause I need to know about that. But like, what goes into it? Like, is there a?
I mean, okay. So there's bits and pieces, right?
Okay.
Okay. One of the pieces.
Let's go to Amber Rose's Instagram right now. All right.
So one of the pieces is that I just fucking feel like it.
Oh, what? Got that.
The other one is, I work out. I'm proud of my body. I want to show it off. I had a baby.
Word.
3 is I personally enjoy pissing people off. I love it. I get off on it. I just think it's fun. I know most of my comments are going to be a lot of people that are mad. And it makes me laugh, and I have a good time when I post things like that.
Yeah.
I'm an asshole like that.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, I just kind of, sometimes I like to just throw it out there and just piss people off real quick and then sleep like a baby.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, for you, and I've asked women this question before, when you post like a twerk video or like, cause you haven't posted a twerk video in a while. When you posted is that phase over?
I think so. I don't know.
Cause there was a time where the twerk videos were very plentiful, and you don't post them anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I've been there.
You're over it. What made you like?
I wouldn't say I'm over. My mom asked me to twerk for her all the time.
Really? She's just like.
I think I need my own reality show so you guys can kind of like come into my
what's
world.
Going on with that? Yeah.
No, my mom just, she loves me, and she's just like, she's like, twerk, and she cracks up.
It's funny.
It's funny to her.
Right.
She just laughs.
Was it? Did you make a decision?
She'd be like, go ahead, girl, go ahead. Like,
yeah, my mom. Hey. To be honest with you, my mama likes that shit too. Like, I remember I brought a girl home one time, and my mom, the girl came in, she knows who she is, and my mom goes, "Oh my God, that thing got some ass on her. Look at that, girl, get up and walk across the living room." And
that's my mom.
And the girl that I brought, she knows who she is, and she's like all getting bashful and stuff like that. My mother's like, walk. Because my mom has a big old ass, so she appreciates that.
Yeah.
So when you just stopped twerking one day, it was like
No, I still like twerking the house and shit. Like
we'll put around the house and
we'll put on the music. My house is always. I'm obsessed with City Girls.
Yeah,
so City Girls is just played through my house all day, and we just dance and my security lives with me, my assistant, my mom. And my son. So it's just always a party. I mean, you've been to my house before.
Yeah.
It's like that all the time.
Yeah. Do you, so like when you post a video, a sexy video, twerk video, or a picture, are you doing this with the conscious knowledge that guys are jacking off to that?
I think it's fire that they're jacking off to it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Because I asked.
I'm not mad at it.
So, but do you ever, is that like the goal and intent ever?
No, I just do it because I don't give a fuck.
Right. It doesn't gross you out to think that they are?
Let me tell you something. Bam. I had my friend June, he was locked up for like 10 years. And when I first came out,
savage.
when I first got on, I did Smooth magazine.
Remember it?
And he told me that there was like the Smooth magazine picture of me like crouched down like the Lil' Kim pose, that guys were paying to use that picture all around the prison.
Wow.
And I thought it was fire.
You thought that was fire?
That's fucking fire.
What's so fire about it? Because I often wonder, like, because you tell a lot, you ask girls that question and they go, "Oh, that's disgusting. Guys are so disgusting."
I'm like the only one.
But you're like, "Nah, that's dope."
It's fire.
Why? What does that?
I don't know why it's fire. It's just fire. Like, would you? Okay, so if I'm like, girls are paying to like look at a picture to like,
and of me
to like play with themselves,
I would be like, yo, that would feel great.
So this is the thing. This is always a double standard. This is why I'm a feminist, because girls feel like they have to be like, ew, oh my God, I don't like that. Like for me, it's like anybody would think that's fire, but because I'm a girl or woman, I should say, it's like programmed in me to be like, oh my God, no, I don't want nobody. But no, it's fucking fire, bro.
So you guys have free permission to jack off to Amber Rose's Instagram.
Absolutely. Have a blast, you guys.
Now, in these high profile relationships, do you ever attempt to not share as much?
No.
Because people get so overly invested, and what people don't get is most relationships end.
Yeah.
Most relationships
they
end.
do.
Like, and
Hello.
so when people go, I don't think they're gonna last, I always go, they probably
not.
won't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We probably won't.
Yeah, they probably won't. But is there ever a part of you that goes, this one I want to play a little closer to the vest so people don't have as much to say about it out in the public
No,
space?
because you know what? I put it like this, man. If you can't deal with that, you can't deal with me. And I find that it's very hard to date me for those reasons. I was actually just out with my boyfriend on New Year's. And, you know, he's the VP at Def Jam, and, you know, he's not famous, but he has an amazing job. He's a great guy. But, yeah, I'm at this club, and a very, 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 very famous man was there. And, you know, I'm you know, chilling with my boyfriend, and he's kind of like sitting, and I'm like in between his like standing up and kind of just, you know, bobbing to the music or whatever. And the guy, the very famous guy, comes behind me and he goes like this to my shoulders. And my boyfriend was like this, like fuck out of here.
Like flicked his hand.
Flicked his hand, one of his hands.
Yeah.
Off, because I guess he didn't see the other one. And, you know, it was like
tense moment.
And I never met this guy.
Oh, you don't know him?
I don't know him, no. But he was low-key trying to shoot his shot with me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I could be one of them bitches like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck off me, right? I say that to say that it is not easy being with me. Things like that happen all the time. Whether it's DMs, whether I'm out, where guys will just shoot their shot in front of my boyfriend. They don't care if he's famous. They don't care about none of that shit. So then we go home, not me and my boyfriend, but like in the past, you know, they would give me a hard time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, it's easier to be with a non-famous girl. It really is. You don't got to deal with the scrutiny. You don't got to deal with, damn, what her mouth tastes like fucking so-and-so's dick. I mean, they're mean. People are really fucking mean. And it's just like, it's not easy to be with me. It's much easier to be with a regular girl, a non-famous girl. And so I feel like that has always been my problem and in my relationships, that it's just not easy being me as a person. I'm cool as fuck.
Right.
Everybody will tell you that. But the Amber Rose aspect of me is just not easy.
Is there ever a point, do you ever get disappointed in them? Like, do you ever go, yo,
Yes.
I wish you could be a bigger person and like deal with this, like I'm worth it type of situation?
Yeah, all the time. But I also can't get mad that they can't.
Do you see yourself ever finding the one guy that you spend the rest of your life with?
I like to think it's Alex, AE, the guy I'm with now. He's amazing. He's great with Bash. He's, you know.
You think you will spend the rest of your life with him?
I like to think that when I really care about someone and I really, really care about him, you know. And, but like I said, it's not easy being with me. That situation just happened on New Year's. I mean, he didn't give me a hard time, but the situation was a hard situation to deal with. And, you know, it's like if he ever bows out for those reasons, I have to understand.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not me. It's not me. I'm really a great girlfriend and a great person, you know, but.
You've only fucked with one white guy in this whole time.
No, I didn't.
It's Machine Gun Kelly. That was it.
No, I dated, oh shit, what's his name?
The fucking Dancing with the Stars guy?
Yeah.
That was real?
Yeah. Oh, Val, yeah.
That was real? Let me tell you how I know that relationship was fake. You just forgot
What?
his name. Let me tell you how I know that relationship was fake. Y'all think we silly. We know when these relationships.
You don't be forgetting people's names?
No, like that.
Come on, stop.
Like y'all think we stupid. You think that we believed that y'all were really together?
We were very much together.
Y'all were never. You never slept with him.
What do you mean?
You never had sex with that guy.
You're talking about Val.
Nigga,
Me and Val were together for like 6 months. We dated for like 6 months. It wasn't like a long-term crazy thing, but he's a great guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy. True or false? You slept with him? No. Because
if I'm with somebody for 6 months, I like to think so.
Let me tell you something. Amber Rose was in a relationship for publicity. It happens. It's okay.
I don't do that fake shit. I'm not a fake ass bitch.
But doesn't mean that you're a fake ass bitch.
No, I don't do publicity anything.
You forgot his name.
Have Amber. I ever called? Ask Harvey. Have I ever called TMZ to come and follow me anywhere?
Oh, I wouldn't know if you had, and you never have. By the way,
never.
Fact. A lot of you have. I'm not.
I never, ever called TMZ to follow me. I don't do shit for publicity.
I'm not at all judging people who have, because some of your favorites have. You probably know who they are. But but you never have. That's not how you get down. That particular time though, that was a fake relationship.
It was not. It was not.
Forgot his name.
I forgot because it's like when I'm doing an interview, I got a lot of things on my mind. When we're talking, I'm still studying on things that I want to talk about and when we're done this. So like I have that type of brain.
So you do.
And I didn't forget his name.
You
it
did.
was just
You were like, what's that nigga from Dancing with the Stars?
Okay, first of all,
that's what you said. You were like man,
no, I
was
was joking.
You weren't joking. You forgot his name. And when this goes on the internet, people are gonna be like, "Yo, Amber Rose never dated that guy." You forgot his name.
I'm a
Machine Gun Kelly though. Machine Gun Kelly is really the only white guy. Was he a nice guy? He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's a cool guy. What about Val? When you guys was texting about where y'all was gonna be shot together with paparazzi, was he cool?
Did I ever call TMZ?
You never did.
All right, so what are you talking about?
I can't believe you tried to make me believe that relationship with Val was.
It was real, bro. I'm telling you.
You liked Val. What did you like about Val?
Why do we have to talk about Val?
I'm just asking, like, what was your favorite thing about Val? What's Val's favorite song?
He was Russian. He spoke Russian, so like he listened to a lot of Russian music.
Did he?
Yeah, you know, and he listened to a lot of hip hop too. He was like a hip hop head at the same time. He had like a Russian, Jewish,
what was the
New
favorite,
York accent.
What was like you and Val's favorite restaurant to go to together here in LA to chill out?
Delilah's probably.
Oh wow, easy answer. Everybody goes there. Shout out to Kenny Hamilton. All right, so these are the questions that people wanted me to ask you.
Okay.
One guy said, "These are the wildest ones."
There's only 3 questions on that paper.
Yeah, these are the 3 questions right
now. All right. I thought I was getting like a good, 20 questions or something.
I can get more because the wild shit that was on Twitter was off.
Yeah, I like wild shit. Wild
I can actually tweet that I'm in the room with Amber Rose right now. Send your questions. So one guy said, "Does Amber Rose like to get those pretty toes sucked?"
Yes.
You like to get your toes sucked?
Actually, my boyfriend has a crazy foot fetish, like loves my feet. And like literally stares at my feet when we make love, and it's really hot.
It's hot that he stares at your feet.
Yeah.
The wholesome shit just went right out the window.
What?
Like,
Why?
It's hot that he stares at your. Wouldn't he?
Like if my legs are all the way up and he'll just like look to the side and stare at my feet.
So your legs are on his shoulders, and
on his chest,
or rather than look in your eyes or at your breasts or anything.
No, like sometimes I tell him to stare at my feet because I know it like turns him on more, and it's hot.
Wow, man, wow,
it's hot. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just one of those things to where I never understood the foot thing. I don't get.
Yeah,
the foot
he
thing.
loves my feet. His screensaver on his phone is my feet.
God damn, you're. All of the woman that you are, all of that.
He loves that
feet.
too. He loves that too. Yeah, but it's.
Have you ever met?
I have really pretty feet.
Is this the first foot guy that you've ever?
Yeah.
The first foot guy. It never weirded you out.
No.
No, it never weirded you out. The foot stuff.
No.
What has there ever been anything that a guy wanted to do that has weirded you out? No names. Just is there anything that's a little too weird for Amber Rose?
That I've experienced, no. But I've heard stories
Nothing too weird.
No, like guys really respect me. Like I'm a really dope ass chick. Like I'm not, I'll let you know what I like and I'll let you know what I don't like and what I'm not into. But no one really never asked me for anything crazy.
Like and so there's never anything that a guy asked you and you were like, nah, we're not doing that.
Not that I could think of, no.
Wow. So but you're saying this because what about one of your homegirls? Something that the guy asked them. You said other girls have had that.
I mean, like there's things that I just don't want to do. Like I don't want to eat ass. I don't want to.
No eating ass.
No, I don't. I'm just not really. I don't want to do that. I'm
Why?
not really. I just don't want to eat a guy's ass. I don't know. Yeah. So.
But that's like a big thing now.
It's like a thing. It's like a thing.
And there are never guys that ask you to do that.
No one
they
ever.
Never like even move because it's like techniques sometimes they move the ass towards your face like they try to ride up.
Yo, relax.
I'm just saying.
Nah, relax.
All right, cool. Do you have a problem with the ass eating the other way?
I don't really have a problem with it. I don't really enjoy it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really don't like head like that, though.
What do you mean?
I don't like receiving head like that. It's not great.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's funny because
You have a very masculine energy.
what?
Like you
No,
have
I
a
don't.
like you do like you have like it's like you kind of like a it's like
Well, I'm a pansexual, so maybe that's it.
I don't know what these terms mean. What does pansexual mean?
That means I will date anyone. I'll date a girl. I'll date transgender, non-binary, male. It doesn't matter.
Now we have what's called a new conversation stream, listeners.
Can I go
Pansexual.
pee real quick?
Yeah, you drank that whole thing.
I did.
All right, Amber, we're gonna let Amber go pee. And we have to ask
Can
her
I
about,
go really fast and I'll be
Yeah,
right
go
back?
for it. We're gonna ask
Okay.
Amber about dating transgenders. So while Amber went to the bathroom, we're actually going to pay some bills. This week's episode is brought to you by Blinkist. Today's age, it can be hard to find the time to sit down and learn more, especially when the likes of social media can be so addictive and time-consuming. So you may think that you don't have the time to read a book or develop yourself, so much other stuff on your mind. Think again. Blinkist is the only app that condenses thousands of nonfiction books into the best key takeaways and need-to-know information. You want to get smarter. You don't have to devote all of this time to it. Blinkist helps you out. You can read and listen to these joints in just 15 minutes. 8 million people are using Blinkist right now, and it has a massive and growing library from self-help, business, health, to history books. I like Blinkist. It's like, once again, a lot going on in life for me right now, all over the place. So in less than 15 minutes, or I need to be armed with all of these factoids and the knowledge that, make me a productive member of community, the media, and this struggle. Blinkist helps me do that. It also helps me move on to the next thing. Talking about being more intelligent, more informed, a more healthy me, mentally and physically. I love reading about how to repair your mind and your body, and I can do that on Blinkist. For me, right now, I'm really into the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. That's on Blinkist right now. I got into that book because I'm desperately interested in how to design a lifestyle that's not stuck in this 9-to-5 monotonous back and forth, and that's one thing that kind of helps me do that. So I was able to do that. Didn't have a lot of time to devote to it. Blinkist helped me out. Also, to be honest with you, The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg is a self-improvement book that I'm really into right now. I got it on Blinkist. It's dope. Gotta try Blinkist, man. Sometimes you don't want to dig all the way in, but you want all the knowledge. Blinkist helps you do that. Right now, for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer just for our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/PILL to start your free 7-day trial. That's Blinkist, spelled BLINKIST. Blinkist.com/pill to start your free 7-day trial. You are back.
Yes.
So, pansexual. Amber Rose would date anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You would date a transgender.
Yes.
You would date.
I've dated women for years. I've dated a trans female to male.
Female to male.
Yeah.
Interesting. When was this?
Probably right before I met Kanye. I was in a long-term relationship with a woman, and then I was with I don't want to say their names, so
Sure.
and my transgender lover was after that, and then I met Kanye. So I wasn't with a guy for a long time before that.
Was there ever any time where you just thought you weren't into men anymore?
No.
You haven't dated a woman in a while now, though, have you?
No, I feel like the last girl I dated was Rosa Acosta. It was a while ago.
That was real?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was real. See,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that I didn't know that it was real, but like I never really I didn't know that was ever something that like you guys like were kind of putting out there.
We didn't put a lot
Yeah, I
out there.
heard about it, but like, because there was a lot of barbershop talk about that one. Like, there was a lot of barbershop talk about that one, but I never know that you guys actually had dated.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What's she up to now?
She's good.
Still stretching?
She's doing good. Still stretching, still working out, still doing her thing.
Doing her thing. Good for her. Why do you think it's so hard for people to, because we talk about sort of the normalization or the integration of transgender Americans into our society, but I think that Laverne Cox and some other people have actually called out men who said that they wouldn't date a transgender female.
Right.
Why do you think that's so hard for so many people?
I think it's a stigma that that's programmed in us either through our families or through society growing up. It's frowned upon. See, I believe that you can love anyone and kind of look past like the appendage or the private area. If you could just look past that and look at the actual person, I think this world would be a better place.
You would date a transgender in the future?
I mean, I would date anyone.
You would date anyone?
Anyone that I can look at and be attracted to and love their spirit and they make me feel good. Yes, I will date transgender. It doesn't matter.
That's interesting. I mean, it's not interesting. It's interesting because I remember one time. So there was a lot of uproar about some things that were said about transgenders last year, and some of the girls that I knew that were very upset about it. I asked them. I said, would you date a man that had dated a transgender female before you? And these women who are very enlightened, incredibly enlightened, very liberal women, all of them were like, no.
Well, see, that's the thing. So it depends,
They were so mad about these comments that were made about the transgender community.
Right.
But there was still a kind of a sticking point there.
Well, I don't. It depends on where that comes from, right? Because it's like, ew, they're transgender. I don't want to date a guy that if it's like an ill factor, which is fucked up, or
is it fucked up?
I think so.
You think it's fucked up to not want to date someone that wasn't born the sex that your preference is?
Okay, but so that's the thing. This is where things get a bit complicated, right? Because there's a lot of guys that love transgender women, right? And they're, society will call them gay, correct?
I mean, I don't call them gay, but yeah.
What would you call them?
I don't know. I mean, if you
they're men that like women.
They're men that like women. Do these women have penises?
Sometimes, yeah, maybe.
This is my thing, and I am going to completely talk about my ignorance right here.
Okay.
If it I guess you're in a heterosexual relationship as a transgender woman, but if the individual has a penis, that's at least kind of gay, right? Like, I mean, not to offend anyone. I'm really just kind of working through these things.
And listen, listen. Everybody that's watching needs to know that it's all about education.
Yeah, seriously.
If we don't educate, we can't get mad at people for not knowing. Okay, let's just put that out there. When you are gay and a gay male, you like guys, which is another gay male or a straight male or just a male.
Right, and the masculine energy and everything that comes with that.
Very masculine energy, very male on male energy. There's even gay men that date transgender female to male. Because just because you're transgender doesn't mean that's your sexuality.
Wow, that's right. Well, I knew that, but what I'm saying is, if you're transgender and you still have your penis, isn't that like a huge part of sexuality? What you have? That's
the thing. Like, there's a lot of guys that are attracted to the female figure, but love the fact that she still has her penis. Wow. That's like the sexy part about it, that they get all this and then still the penis as well, which is really cool. So, it really just depends. And like I said, if they're saying it for the reason like, I don't know, that's just kind of weird, then whatever, that's on them. But if they're saying it like, I don't know if I gotta compete with that because that's what he really likes, and then, I have a vagina, I can't give him maybe what she can give him. I understand that. It all comes down to preference. As long as we're not belittling people for who they are, then.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that for me, it's I want a society where everyone feels completely okay to be who they are, but I definitely don't want anyone to feel like, for example, if you're saying if a guy says that it's probably a little bit too much for him to date a transgender female.
I mean, he shouldn't be shamed for that.
Yeah, I think that's
it's
kind of
just preference.
It's like, and maybe there'll be a time where that's not the thing, but where that kind of, but like for me, that would be something that wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Well, Van, listen. There's a difference between preference, and there's a difference between
bigotry.
Or just treating people like shit for who they are. It's just not nice.
Do you feel like you're doing your life's work? Do you feel like is it important to you? Because you're very famous, you've made a lot of money. It seems like it's seemingly you can brand yourself in any way. I'm assuming you make a lot of money from Instagram. How much money do you make from Instagram?
Probably like $2 million a year just off Instagram. What? Is that crazy?
It's not crazy, Amber.
I'm just saying there's girls that make more than $2 million a year. I make like $2 million on Instagram a year.
Situation where a nigga went to college and bought into the whole bullshit, and Amber is making $2 million off Instagram. Wow.
Yeah.
$2 million.
$2 million, yeah.
And you have to, that's just about posting and working with brands and stuff like that.
Yeah. All like endorsement deals and stuff like that.
You make $2 million a year off Instagram.
Is that sounds crazy?
Yeah, man.
Oh.
That's not crazy. That's I'm not hating it. You're blessed, my sister. I call you that because you half my sister, because you know, but you're blessed. That's amazing. $2 million off Instagram. So if you're making $2 million off Instagram, you're really getting money out here. I'm not counting your money. That's something we don't do in Baton Rouge. Shout out to the bottom, but like that's really a lot of money. So there's money to be made on Instagram. People think that there's not.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of money to be made on Instagram.
Look at you smiling.
I'm just saying that. I mean, God has blessed me. And I tell these young girls coming up, I'm like, look, I know I do have a persona and I have a reputation. If that's the people that don't know me, and that's fine. But like, I feel like I made it this far by being a really good person. You know what I'm saying? I'm good to everyone I'm around. I treat everyone the same, whether it's a waitress or a driver or anybody. I take care of my team. I'm just a down home, cool Philly chick, and I feel like God blessed me. But yeah, I feel like Instagram is like just one of my incomes that I kind of just
fell into.
No, I kind of don't. I count it. I count that as
Amber, if you don't fucking stop stunting on me.
I'm not saying. I swear to God.
It's like you count it. It's $2 million
a year, though. Just saying.
You can't say that you're not stunting right now. How much money do you make in a year?
I don't want to say that because my family gonna call me and ask me for shit.
You make $10 million a year?
No, I don't. No, not that much. Not that much.
Damn. Amber getting this money out here. That's dope. Listen, what do you think about the R. Kelly situation?
So I spoke to you on the phone last night, and I just finished watching it. And I'm the type of person where I do not like to just get on social media and speak ignorantly about something that I don't have the full story. I watched all 6 episodes, and obviously I knew he was a sexual predator, but I wanted to kind of finish everything before I had this conversation. Last night I seen on Instagram that his brother came out and said that they were both molested by their older sister. Did you see that?
I did not see him say that.
Okay. So there's a video that says that she forced him, especially, to do oral sex on her. And then she got on top of him, and she was having sex with him, and he was 6 years old, and that was his older sister.
This happened to R. Kelly, is what the brother said.
R. Kelly's brother, but I think that he was saying that it happened to the both of them from the sister. But that was just his experience after. He elaborated on his experience with the sister after. And I want to say this, and I've never spoke about this publicly, Van, and I fucks with you heavy. I'll give this to you on your show, and but my mother was molested as a child, and I see a lot of people on social media, say, "Oh, this is why R. Kelly's doing this to young girls." Now, my mother was molested. My mother never touched me. My mother never touched anyone. My mother is a fucking saint. and all the turmoil and trials and tribulations that she had to live at a very young age, she broke that cycle with her child, which is me. And I don't look at any of that as an excuse. It's kind of like, you know, a lot of comments were saying, like, it's a vicious, never-ending cycle. There's an end to a cycle. You can end it. You have the responsibility as a grown person to be like, you know what? This happened to me, but I don't want to do this to other people. Right. I don't want to hurt people that hurt me. Right. You know, or the way that somebody hurt me, I don't want to hurt people in that way. And so because my mother was molested, you know, she had a hard life. Her siblings went through a lot. You know, really most of my family is dead from overdoses. Wow. And the only one that's left is my mom and her brother, which is, he's on methadone now, but he's a recovering heroin addict for the past 50 years. I mean, like a long time. He's still alive and he's doing well. That's when I just bought a new car for because he's clean. And but growing up with a mother that was molested, I had to deal with a mother that was also clinically depressed. And being clinically depressed, it in turn, you know, made my mom not want to leave the house. And when she didn't leave the house, we got evicted from our home. And, you know, and stripping wasn't my first option. It was, and I usually don't tell people this because I never want to tell a sob story, and there's so much more that goes into this. But it coincides with what happened with R. Kelly and like the question that you asked me. You know, I tried selling drugs. I tried selling crack in my neighborhood, and they were like, "No, you're gonna
drug dealers wouldn't let you sell drugs."
No, they said I was gonna get robbed. I was a girl and I was too pretty, and it wasn't gonna happen. So what I did, I would bag it up for them. I would weigh it and I would bag up the crack rocks for them. And they would throw me some money. And then, you know, I was making a little money off of that. And then when I ran into this girl, Nish, in the neighborhood, you know, she had all the Coach bags in the car. Like, you know, she had the little Honda Accord and like little rims and shit. And, you know, I was just like, yo, you know, my mother has been through a lot in her life. And, you know, I'm the queen of the house right now. I need to do what I got to do to survive. And I feel like rappers always get this like pass of like, I had to sell drugs to feed my daughter. I had to sell drugs to feed my family. And it's always like an American
come up situation.
It's like,
we made something out of nothing.
We made something out of nothing. And when it comes to me, it's like, do I have to give you this story for you to understand? Like, it's been 9 years since I've been famous. I never told that to nobody, you know, because I just feel like, I was a stripper and I did what the fuck I had to do to feed my family. And, you know, that was kind of always my thing. Like, but yes, it was a hard time in the beginning. And I became a stripper very young, and I made that decision. Nobody in my family put that on me. And I don't really think people understand how hood I grew up. I don't think they understand really where I'm from. You know, the shit that I had to overcome and even overcome after I became famous. My life has not been easy, and I don't want anybody to ever feel sorry for me because I do what I got to do. This is the time to just let people know, like, it did push me to that limit to go and fend for my family based off of things that happened before I was born. And I'm the only child from my mother, so, you know.
Is it a portion of your life now that you would really like to put to bed for good? Because I mean, the reason why I would ask you about that is because almost everything that you went through seems to be such an important building block in who you are today.
Right.
And it's something that you've never run from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so being that you've never run from it, I wouldn't think that it's something that you'd have an issue about it being brought up or even have a feeling about it either way. But is that something, and we all have
But
things.
I mean, I just feel like every time it's like, yeah, I stripped, I loved it, that shit was fun, I missed the money falling on my body, I just get ignorant after a while, man. I'm just like, yeah,
Right.
I fucking love that shit. It was everything I ever wanted. I miss fucking swinging on a pole because I'm just at a point where it's just like, bruh, yes, my life was hard. Like every other poor person in fucking, inner city in America. But then, it's like, I really don't want to say that because guess what? I've been to Africa and African people will get mad at me for saying this, but it's a lot worse over there.
Yeah.
It's a lot fucking worse.
For a lot of people. For a lot of wealth in Africa, but there's a lot of people over in Africa.
There's a lot of people that will never live that poor in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just put that out there. Yes, there's people that are doing
a lot of
good
wealth in Africa, yeah.
in Africa.
But
so, it's just like, yeah, I did what I had to do. And then, after a while, I did enjoy it because I had a lot of friends. And it was like,
sure.
I get to dance to my favorite song that's out right now. And, I get to get pretty and get my hair done and do my makeup and have a cool glow-in-the-dark outfit on. And, it's like a party every night.
It was performative.
Yeah, it was fun, But I think, like, maybe I want to just do my own show about my life. Like really talk about like everything and not like a reality show, like really talk about really what I've been through because nobody really knows. Nobody will ever really understand because I just never say it. I just be like, yeah, y'all don't like me. Y'all think I'm a whore. I was a stripper. I used people to get fame and I'm a gold digger. Fine, whatever. Let me just have a slut walk and say fuck you to everybody.
How the fuck you a gold digger? You making $2 million a year off Instagram?
I'm saying initially. You know?
I'm like, Jesus Christ. But
yeah, but that's another thing. I don't flaunt my shit. I don't talk about money. I don't talk about money with my family. It's just getting to the point now, bro. I'm just older and like I just don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, yeah, I make this money, bro. Half of the guys I dated, I have more money than them. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, she's with this guy for a clout. She's with that. I never call TMZ. You know that for a fact. Yeah. I don't call people to come out and take pictures of me. I don't fuck with people for clout. I fuck with people, excuse me, that I just genuinely like in that moment. And if I don't like them anymore or they don't contribute to my life in a positive way, bye. I'm on to the next one. I'm gonna do what I want when I want and just be fucking happy. And I can't really care about what anybody else says. I just gotta do me.
Word. Give it up for Amber Rose. This was a lot of fun. Give it up for Amber Rose.
Yo, you've been asking me to come on this podcast for like
a
year.
Begging Amber Rose to come on the podcast.
A year.
Begging. And what she told me, she was like, yo, because you got at that punk ass nigga Kanye West.
I did not say that. I did not. I was thinking it though. But I didn't say, no. I'm just kidding.
All right, we out.
All right.
Thank you, Amber Rose, for joining us. Talking some wild, insightful, and powerful talk with us. We love it. This episode, if you want more information about a multitude of things, this episode was brought to you by Blinkist. Thanks again to Blinkist for supporting us. Today's age, it can be hard to sit down and learn more. So many distractions. You might think you don't have time to read a book. Think again. Blinkist is the only app that condenses thousands of nonfiction books into the best key takeaways, the things that you need to know to build the tool built for your life. You can read or listen to them in just 15 minutes. And right now, for a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer just for our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/PILL to start your free 7-day trial. That's Blinkist, spelled BLINKIST. Blinkist.com/pill to start your free 7-day trial. Blinkist.com/pill. Appreciate y'all rocking with us today.